Hello. Today I want to talk about tapering cylinders. So I'm just going to draw a cylinder. Um, I think it's always good to start with a line. You don't have to. I think the further you kind of find your own path, the better you'll be able to do it. And basically, I'm going to do that again. The idea is you want the ellipse to kind of you want the line to be going directly through the center of our ellipse, because this ellipse, we're kind of like looking at it in 3D space. So I'll finish it and show you. It'll never be perfect. A couple other things. You want the two ellipses to line up, or else it kind of looks like it's tilting. And in general, you wouldn't want that. I mean, you'll want that in the future. I'm going to complete this cylinder. And let me think of a better example. In the past, whenever I would kind of learn about cylinders, the recommended thing was always to draw it in a box. So how about I'll do one of those. That'll probably give a better viewpoint, because you can encapsulate anything in a box. Sorry, I should have drawn this box beforehand. Maybe I'm being too... But we're basically going to try to encapsulate a cylinder within the box. And I'm just not going to focus on getting it 100% perfect. I'm going to try to show a little bit of convergence. I think it's going to be there. So what we would do is try to get the ellipse to touch that corner, that edge, that edge, that edge, and that edge, and then try to do the same thing. And then if you connect the lines, you have a cylinder within our box. But there's a bit of a problem with it. The fact that this one's not really tapering. So one of the solutions that you can do is to make a tapering box. So I'll show you how to do that. And it's probably going to get a bit weird, because I'm going to try to wing it. If I was going to do this, I'm going to try something new I really haven't tried before. I'm going to try to make two planes. You could still think of it, I mean, it's going to be a box eventually, but it's going to be like a tapering box. And I think that doing that can help you with tapering cylinders. But I do think over time you're probably just going to want to wing it. I'm going to show you how to do that too, even though I don't do it that much or do it that often. So we have that, and basically what I want to do is, you know what? Okay, sorry. I am going to draw a box. That was a bit of a stupid call on my part. Because for this, I overthought it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a regular box, and then within the bottom plane, I'm going to draw like a smaller plane. Like, I mean, basically a plane that like is already in the plane, and we're going to try to half it a bit with the idea that we're already using our box's construction for it. And by doing that, we'll have a better point. Not the perfectest box in the world. I'm going to try that again. I think I just kind of got that a bit messed up because I didn't have that aligned the right way I wanted it to. Okay, so we have that. It's kind of hard to remember, but I learned this in a Drawbox course in which trying to divvy up. So I drew an X within the plane. I'm going to show you what I did over here real quick, just to show you what we're kind of doing, because as I draw in 3D space, it can be difficult to visualize if you haven't done it again and again. This is my own personal experience, so I'm kind of thinking it would be hard for some people to visualize it, and I completely understand. It's I feel like it's hard to see. I mean, there are some things you just have to do again and again until it clicks. I feel like not everyone is going to be able to say it in the way that this isn't perfect, but sorry, but basically being able to explain it in the way you want. Like, more often than not, I feel like you're going to have to seek multiple sources of information until you click, maybe even over a bit of time. Okay, so we have a plane with an X drawn through it. And basically, what I learned to divide it up, I would kind of draw like a line, a line, a line, a line. And here we pretty much used our existing plane to divide another box into it. There were better rules. I'm going to have to look at my notes again because it's been so long since I've done this. But in short, I'm going to kind of do that with our 3D box, our 3D box here. And basically, like, you want to be following like those and that. You want to be like making sure that the points are still converging. You don't want any weirdness in your alignment because, you know, you always want to make sure that you're going towards your vanishing points, even though our vanishing points are going to be far off this canvas, but they're still there. The important thing is to know that, and that they're not just that they don't exist. They definitely do. Okay, so we have our planes. We have this plane, and we have like this plane, which is this plane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, like before, try to draw my ellipse, and then I'm going to draw an ellipse in the lower plane. I'm going to do it again. It could be really hard to freehand it. Okay, so we have our top ellipse here, and our ellipse on the bottom here, and I'm going to connect them. I'm going to do that. I'm just lightly sketching it. So we have that, and we have that, and that. Sorry, I didn't mean to curve it. So there we have a, a tapering cylinder. It's really weird to visualize. Yeah, kind of looks like a vase, or vase, however you say it. So, sorry, I have my image here, as you can tell. But, okay, I want to think how to freehanded, because, you know, this took a bit of time. I think it's good. From a construction perspective, it's probably very worthwhile to try it again and again, but I'm just going to show how you can do it without drawing a box. Boxes always help. But I'm just trying to wing it. And that line I drew is just to try to orient my ellipses here. So we kind of have that. I didn't draw that straight. And here we have a tapering cylinder. Now that I think about it, I did a pretty bad job. Didn't mean to drag that. I did a pretty bad job here trying to taper it. I'm going to try that again for you. The other important thing to know is that this is like we could see this plane. We really wouldn't see this plane. It's just like it wouldn't be visible to us, but because we're drawing in a 3D, we can see through it. I guess you could kind of think of it like, it's weird, but you get the point. Think of it as being like a transparent object, but you could see the sides. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention is that the more of the ellipse that you see, you know, it's more visible. How I learned it was thinking of it like a penny or a coin, in which you could see the face, and as you rotate the penny, it kind of becomes like that. Sorry, these would all align. I'm just kind of making that reference. But as you turn the penny, I'm going to draw a P, or a cent symbol. If anyone knows what that means, I don't know. I think it's a cent symbol. Not aiming for the hammer and sickle, but it kind of looks like that. Oh well. And yeah, as the coin turns, it would kind of... Darn, I wish I could think how to map this better. You know, kind of like you're seeing less of the ellipse as it rotates in space until eventually the coin, like eventually you'll only see the side of the coin here. And usually when I think of a penny, like it's kind of like a line, but like I want to say like it has a bunch of ridges, and I'm just gonna draw that because I think it's a good explanation. Like, you know, it's obviously it's not a line. It kind of has like a thickness thing to it, or it does have some type of width. It's not completely flat, but you know, think of a penny. You know, it has those ridges, which I'm guessing it's how they manufacture them or pour them in the mint. There may be a logical reason for it. I'm guessing it has to do with storage, but yeah, that would be the same as that when you're looking at it from that angle. So look over here. Sorry. I'm going to draw that again, and I'm going to try to show it better. Got that. And, you know, a lot of people don't like to do that. But I think it can be beneficial. Some people like to like add little curves to the end, because, you know, kind of mixing... it doesn't align right. Let me try to do it again. Some people kind of like to use a partial ellipse here for one of the sides of the cylinder. I think it can make things a lot more clear when you're trying to visualize stuff. Like, how do I put it? When you're trying to visualize certain ellipses, I think it could add a really good effect for, you know, basically bringing attention to certain ellipses and maybe not trying to bring attention to other ellipses. Because clearly, in this cylinder here, we're more focused, like we could see that ellipse of the plane, because it's a bit more faced towards us compared to this one, which it's not really. Like, this is more like that, and this is more like that, if that makes sense. Like, if you think of it as a cent, or, you know, the cent symbol. I think that's a cent symbol. So yeah, it's kind of like that. there are many more ways you could mess with it in 3D space. I'm gonna do a couple more. Like if you were, let's say we're looking at it from above, and like here, it's not a donut. It's difficult to think of, but it would really, it's still like a tapering cylinder. It's just that this smaller ellipse is farther behind us than this larger ellipse. Like the cylinder is pointed like directly at us. So like we wouldn't see this section, but we would see like this whole big section if you could think of it. I'm going to show you. It would be that this ellipse here, the front one is like that one, and this small ellipse here is like the bottom one. I'm going to show you one over here. And, there are various effects. Like, I was kind of showing how, kind of longer cylinders, it could be like, there could be like a lot less room between like the size of the cylinder. Like, it could be like still like partially visible, but partially overlapping, if that makes sense. Yeah, because it's like the way the tapering cylinder recedes in 3D space. Let me think of another example. Okay, that's just for perspective. Sorry. I'm thinking of one in which it's kind of like the visible face is tilted towards us. I'm going to draw a line to do it. I always like having a line to orient myself. So, or the cylinder. So we got that, and this is facing towards us, towards you. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that, but I forgot the redo button. Yeah. I want to make it a little smaller to show. Kind of like that. It's a lot like, okay, so we have this, right? I'm going to erase a portion of it. I just want you to keep in mind how I feel like erasing this portion kind of helps convey the idea a bit better. You don't have to do that, but like, I feel like it helps, hitting the point that this is the ellipse that's visible to us, and we really couldn't see the ellipse over here, even though it's definitely still there. So it's really your call to how you want to show certain ellipses. Let me do another one. Like I'm going to do, I'm going to do a spin on this one, but there's like, the top and bottom are a lot closer, so it's kind of like you're kind of rotating it, but I'll show you. I want it to be a little bit more perfect. Kind of like that. Kind of looks like a lampshade. I don't know why I got that in my head, but now I kind of want to draw like a lamp, like if we were looking at it from like below, and if we could like kind of see I don't know why that popped in my mind, but I thought of a lampshade, and I am not getting those. I can't get it right, but This was a bad idea, but oh well, we have those. You know, kind of like that. That was such a tangent, I'm so sorry. But like, you know, if we were reviewing this from below, and like maybe if you had a light bulb, you wouldn't be able to see that light bulb. I don't know how to draw a light bulb, I don't have a reference on me. But kind of like that. No, it would probably be a lot lower. I bet it would be a bit more like that. Kind of like that. Massive tangent there. But yeah, I hope this kind of helps cement the idea of tapering cylinders. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments, and thank you for listening.